Welcome to lessons in Guyanese history, and today is lesson 3, and we are looking at good writing. Good writing. Now, every essay begins with an introduction, and in the history essay, we need to state the objective of your essay. Keep your essay simple. Keep your essay simple. Write short sentences. Now, try as much as possible not to use too many quotes. If not, it conveys the impression that you are unaware of your subject. Hence, it is important that you keep your essay simple and that you are able to write the essay without having to cut and paste or use too many quotes. Use the vocabulary of the question that you are requested to answer. In answering the question, for instance, compare and contrast the 1763 Berbice Revolution and the 1791 Haitian Revolution. You will use such words and phrases as enslavement, ammunitions, food supply, rebels, forts, plantations, colonists. The reader will be aware that you are knowledgeable of your subject, that's one, and that you have been reading up on the subject. Hence, you have no difficulty whatsoever in being able to arrive at a conclusion. In your conclusion, establish clearly your position in an answer to the question. It is necessary to establish the thesis. What is the thesis of your presentation in the introduction? Then the antithesis. Now the antithesis will have the paragraph body of the essay. Yeah? And there you will be able to present the arguments by various authors, and you will be able to see the various sides of the question which you have been answering. Finally, the synthesis, that's the conclusion. In there, once you have been able to successfully present those who are for your position and those who are against, then you will be able to put yourself in the conclusion, right? So that the reader knows immediately what is your position. Once the reader has clearly presented the arguments and given a coherent conclusion from a historical perspective, then the student will achieve an excellent grade. So please bear this in mind. In the body of the essay, we deal with multiple factors that contributed to in this case, the revolutions, right? And that is, in historical terms, referred to multiple factors or several factors that contributed to the outcome, to the uprising, as multiple causation theory. Professor Mary Noel Maniz, in her book Better Research, goes into great detail on multiple causation theory or the multiple factors. There were several contributing factors which were responsible for the issue under discussion. These should be identified in the paragraphs to support your argument. Next, the body of essay will have paragraphs. As I mentioned earlier, make your sentences short. Very long sentences tend to distract the reader. Okay? Compare and contrast the primary and secondary sources. Read the works on historical writings. Now there are several e-books and e-magazines on social media which have excellent articles on historical writing, as well as particularly Twitter and Facebook. I highly recommend History Today. You can also find History Today on Facebook, IGTV, and http://history.com. History Today is published in History Today, and it has several volumes. There is volume 70, issue 8, August 2020, which deals with good writing. Finally, proper referencing is important. It creates a breadcrumb trail for your reader so that your footsteps can be followed. It means that your factual assertions can be verified, and it works to keep us all operating in good faith, quote unquote, and this comes from History Today. Right? Now, there are writers who have done analysis of historical works and have been able to put those into context in the newspapers. And this morning I want to look at the examples of reviews of writers and their publications, and I deal with two Guyanese writers, Ralph Ramcharan and Freddie Kissoon. Now, Ralph Ramcharan analyzes Marjolin Carr's Blood on the River, which deals with the 1763 rebellion. Freddie Kissoon, on the other hand, looks at Alicia Trotz and Arif Buchan's book on the 2nd of March 2020 elections that were held in Guyana, and they deal respectively in their newspaper columns with these two writings. They are, in my opinion, well written. Now let me give you an example of the kind of thing one will expect from you as you write your essay. I deal first with Ralph Ramcharan, in which he says in his review of Blood on the River by Marjolin Carr, Ralph Ramcharan wrote in the Stablic News, 27th September 2020, hopefully Marjolin Carr's just published book, Blood on the River, a chronicle of mutiny and freedom on the wild coast, will bring the untold story of the Berbice slave rebellion to a wide audience. Miss Carrs, a noted historian of slavery, is an associate professor at the University of Maryland, a Dutch speaker. She happened upon a cache of records, an extraordinarily rich archive in the Netherlands about the massive slave rebellion in Berbice, about which she and a few others had ever heard. The book is described as a masterpiece and an astonishing work of history. One writer concluded that one of the great slave revolts in modern history has at last found a gifted historian to its epic tale. Miss Carr deserves Guyana's gratitude and congratulations for treating this defining event in Guyana's history with such commitment and frankness, sparing no one but always on the side of the oppressed. I want you to take note of the language that he uses, as well as being able to keep it simple, right? Next, we look at Freddie Kissoon's analysis of the work of Dr. Trotz and Arif Buchan, in which he states, then Dr. Trotz repeated her concepts on Guyanese politics, this time with Karen D'Souza from the organization Red Thread. See my column of Tuesday, July 28, 2020. I quote Trotz, D'Souza, and Riggin, the imprisoned Freudian mind, end of quote. In Friday's edition of the Stablic News, there is an editorial that, though does not work in the identical direction of Dr. Trotz, Buchan, D'Souza, and Magdoum, it incorporates analytical outlooks that rely on the same traditional methodological sources. Trotz, Buchan, D'Souza, and Magdoum have repeated what Guyanese academia has been saturated with over the past 7 decades, that the sociological story of Guyana is PPP hogging power for ethnic hegemony, and the PNC doing the same, with dire consequences for social stability, because they rule on behalf of their own constituencies and not for the entire society. Though this theory has been efficacious over the past 7 days, the dialectics of power sharing between the PNC, AFC, and WPA since 2015 have transformed the fulcrums of the political sociology of Guyana. Right? So I'd like you to look at the writings. To argue that the 2020 election confrontation is the same old story of party ethnic rivalry between PNC and PDP is to overlook substantial changes in the political landscape of Guyana since 2015. Perhaps confusion is a relevant term when one researches the degeneracy of power and politics since 2015 that involved a traditional working class, ethnically based party, and the PNC, a formidable multiracial capitalist outfit with AFC, and the radical left-wing multiracial revolutionary organization, the WPA. And as I said, that quote comes from Frederick Kissoon, Dialectics in Guyana Politics and Alternative Theory, published on the Kite News on the 4th of October, 2020. Thank you for allowing me to present this lesson to you this morning. I am Hazel Burford. It was presented on behalf of the Guyana Institute of Historical Research. If you have any questions, please contact us at dearinstitute@gmail.com. Thank you once again for listening.